In this episode of the Swearwolves podcast, David and I discuss the 1986 cult flick, Spookies.
We'll begin with a reign of terror. A few murders here and there.
Welcome back to the Swearwolves. I'm Bret.
I'm David.
David.
Yes, Bret. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, my friend?
I'm really good.
You threw me for a loop there.
I know.
I'm usually the one that asks how you are, and I didn't know how to answer.
I was just so curious about how you're doing.
I'm doing well. Things are going good. It's 2023. We're into 2023 now, and I'm ready for it to be over already. No,
You still keeping positive?
I'm still keeping
Like, nope.
as positive as one can be, David.
Gave that shit up.
Give that shit up when you said, "Hey, let's review the movie Spookies."
Yeah, he went, oh, fuck.
Hey, you know what? Let's not beat around the bush anymore. I don't got much more to say to you.
Yeah. We'll just get right in
So
it.
I'm ending this podcast now. No,
jump
let's
right into
just
it.
go ahead and get started with the film review.
Yeah,
Unless
let's
you
do
have
it.
something. Do you
I
have
have
any
nothing.
news?
No.
Okay. Spookies
Yes, Spookies.
came out in 1986, but you know what's weird about it? They had like 18 different release dates for it. So
Yeah,
it's
I was
listed
very
as a
confused.
1986 movie. But the release date I chose is not 1986. I did that on purpose because we had already reviewed a movie that came out around that same time. So I just
And it
used
had
one
the
of the other release
same number
dates.
one movie, same number one song.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not use 1986. I used January 22nd, 1988.
88.
I know that's pretty far away from 1986, but there's a whole year. But I did that on purpose because we had already reviewed movies that had those number one movies and number one songs. So
Makes sense.
January 22nd, 1988. David, what was the number one movie in the theater?
I'm going with a little movie called Young Einstein.
Dude, no. But I remember when that movie with Yahoo Serious.
Yahoo Serious, yeah.
When that movie was being promoted, I was like, this is going to be the greatest fucking movie ever.
I think I thought that too. It was like, this movie looks amazing. Mom and
Yes.
Dad, can we go see it? They're like, nope.
That's exactly what happened to me, too. That was the one time that my parents were like your parents. Because
And
your
I've
parents
heard-
always did that.
Yeah, and I've heard it's awful.
It's god-awful. It's god-awful. But I thought it was going to be good. With a name like
Yeah.
Yahoo Serious, how could it not
That's
be
what I
good?
thought. I was like, he's got a crazy name. He looks like he's crazy.
He's got crazy hair.
Yeah.
He's a young Einstein, for fuck's sake. No, that wasn't the number one movie. The number one, why would that ever be? What alternate reality was young
I thought
Einstein?
maybe it was just like a flash in the pan, like 1 week. Because January 22nd, like, the good movies aren't coming out in late January.
No, but it's the carryover, I think. From the
Sometimes, yeah,
previous.
you get like a Christmas movie or something that has staying power.
I think that this was the case.
Mm.
It was a little film starring Robin Williams called Good Morning Vietnam.
Good Morning Vietnam, okay.
Yeah.
Good movie.
I've never seen it.
It's really good.
Not in its entirety. I've seen
Yeah.
chunks of it. I know Forrest Whitaker's in it, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yes. I like Forrest Whitaker a lot.
Yeah.
But I digress. What was the number one song?
I'm going with Pour Some Sugar on Me by
Little
Def
Def
Leppard.
Leppard?
Yeah.
No.
In
Do you
the name
know
of
one
love,
time-
Brett.
Do you know one time I was watching back in MTV days when MTV was like music video television, they had a countdown of like the 100 greatest music videos. All right. What's number one?
Thriller.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, where you grew up, when you grew up. Thriller is the number
Right.
one greatest music video of all time. This list, this year, whatever year it was that I was watching it, the number one was Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard. Thriller was number two.
That's horse shit.
How the fuck?
That's ridiculous.
How the fuck is Pour Some Sugar on? Unless you're just like, hey, sympathy because the guy lost his arm, okay? And he's got to play the fucking drums with his feet. I understand that. Give them the number two spot. I don't care who's number two.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
There's no way in hell I don't know who fucking did that. But.
Like, it wasn't even the number one song January 22nd, 1988.
No, the number one song January 22nd, 1988 was Got My Mind Set on You by George Harrison.
Oh, shit.
Which recently, I mentioned this, I have a jukebox.
Yeah,
I have that.
Do you have that one?
Yeah. My reasoning behind that was because I want to have 45s from all the Beatles in their solo careers.
Oh, that's fun.
As well as a Beatles 45 as well in there. I'm a Beatles fan. What can I say? Back to Spookies. Spookies was written by 4 different people.
Had a whole team of people
Can you fucking
making this
believe
opus.
Thomas Duran, Brendan Faulkner, Frank Farrell, and Anne Burgund. I think she was uncredited.
I know I'd want to be.
This movie was also directed by 3 different people, and that's those people from before. Brendan Faulkner, Thomas Duran, and Eugenie Joseph. Okay. Anyway, music by James Calabrese. I did the music for Spookies.
I make the music.
Kenneth Higgins is my partner. He doesn't have a good name, so I go first. Calabrese and Higgins. This movie was produced by all the same people: Eugenie Joseph, Frank Farrell, Thomas Duran, and Brendan Faulkner. Stars Felix. It stars. Who gives a fuck who this movie stars? Next. This movie is 85 minutes long.
That it is.
Budget. I have no budget information, but what was the box office?
$500,000.
Get out of fucking town. You think it made that much?
I would have guessed nothing.
$17,785.
Oh, wow.
Hotbox. This is the Sony VHS copy that we're doing.
The definitive
the Hotbox
version.
Now, do you remember the box art for this?
Yeah.
You remember seeing this and going,
No.
Oh, okay.
But I know what it looks like. I can
Yeah,
picture
but
it in my mind's eye, but I don't remember seeing it at the store. At the video
I saw
store.
it at the theater.
Oh,
Or not at
shit.
the theater.
At
Not
the video
I didn't see
store?
it at the fucking theater. At the video store.
You're like, I'm one of the $17,000 this movie made.
My parents were like, "You're not seeing Young Einstein. We're going to see Spookies."
And that's it. Like, okay.
Spookies was. I remember seeing it at the video store and thinking, "God, that looks good."
Yeah.
The movie looks awesome. That looks like a vampire on the cover. Let me describe the cover. Front of the box, at the top, it says, "A demonic game of hide and seek, a night of unrelenting terror. Spookies." And there's various monsters. It's like hand-drawn.
Yeah.
Kind of cool artwork. It's various monsters drawn on the cover. There's a large face of what you might assume to be is the main monster. He kind of looks like a vampire to me.
Very much so.
And that's what I thought it was.
Me too.
And the monsters are all grabbing at some scantily clad young woman.
Ooh, baby.
At the bottom right-hand corner of this VHS tape, it says, "Winner, 1986 Delirium Award at the 15th Annual International Science Fiction and Film Fantasy Festival." Okay. I read this, and I said, first of all, it won an award? What the fuck is the Delirium Award? Maybe you'd have to be delirious in order to think this was any good?
Yeah.
And then I read further, and I said, International Science Fiction and Film Fantasy Festival. So it's a fantasy festival? It's
That's
misprinted
a lot
on the
of words.
box. It's misprinted on the box. It says International Science Fiction and Film Fantasy Festival. It should say Science
Film
Fiction
fantasy.
and Fantasy.
Film.
Yes.
Film fantasy.
It doesn't make any sense.
It does not make sense. Fitting.
Back of the box. At the top, it has a quote from Variety. It says, "Interesting special effects, monster creations well done, in time-honored horror film tradition." All right, so the quote says, "Interesting special effects, ... monster creations well done, ... in time-honored horror film tradition. It could have said anything.
They took out all the words in between. That's hilarious.
It could have said interesting special effects wouldn't have saved this fucking movie from its shitty monster creations. Well
Yes.
done, dipshit.
Yeah. Exactly. That's probably what they did.
They have two still shots, one of Monster and the other of, I guess, the kids from the movie, and a tombstone that reads, "Here lies Angus Black, child of Satan, 1898 to 1946.
What? Who? Who the hell's Angus Black?
Don't fucking know, David. I threw my notes. Hold on. Let me see if it's a character in here.
More like Black Anus.
There's no one named Angus Black in this entire thing. The description reads as follows. Your reaction. I haven't even read it, David.
I'm already tired. What do you got?
David, you ready for this?
Yeah. You sitting down for this?
Imagine you and your friends are paired up with your favorite dates, and the night is very young. There's an old, dilapidated mansion just down the road a bit near the deserted graveyard. It would be the perfect place to party. Let loose, lose your souls. What you and your friends don't know is that inside the house lives an ancient sorcerer, a master of the dark arts. He has sacrificed many to give eternal life to his beloved, comatose bride. Just a few more humans are needed. The masterful wizard is about to begin another evening of magic, conjuring up a dizzying array of monstrous creatures, hellish lizards, skeletal reapers, demons, zombies, ghosts, lust-crazed muckmen, luring hags and spider-women, all driven by a blind killer instinct. Special guests will be treated to an onslaught of twisted supernatural torture, until each one begs to die. Nothing you have ever witnessed before will have prepared you for the incredible special effects that make Spookies the ultimate, unforgettable experience in pure, unrelenting terror.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
What the fuck? I hate these boxes.
Yeah, it's like really stroking its own ego here.
It is, and it's like, you read that as a kid, you see that cover art, you're like, this movie is going to be better than Young Einstein. This movie starts off, okay, I'm just going to put this out there. This lady who did the uncredited rewrites or editions or whatever, I guess the three filmmakers who I had read off, they got fired.
Oh, okay.
And so they hired this woman, this Anne. Her name's not important.
And
they hired
Yes. Some.
Yeah, Anne Berger. She did some rewrites and some additional filming to kind of make more sense of this nonsensical.
That poor woman.
Film. I think she added the 13-year-old boy sub-storyline because that made no sense.
It made zero sense.
There's a 13-year-old boy. It's his birthday.
I thought he was going to be the star of the movie.
No, he's dead immediately. But they do set it up like he's the star. He's the Janet Leigh of this.
Yeah, real smart, real clever. The filmmakers really pulled a fast one on us.
This 13-year-old boy, he's riding his bike. He's running away from home, David.
Yep.
His family forgot about his birthday.
Terrible parents.
He's turning from 12 to 13.
He's running away. That'll teach him.
And he stops off in the woods. And there's like some, hobo?
Like a drifter guy or something. He's like, hey, kid.
Got a light? And of course the kid does. Because what 13-year-old doesn't have a Zippo?
Yeah.
And I remember I wanted a Zippo so bad.
I did too.
I would go to the fair, and they would always have like different people selling different tchotchkes and stuff. And like back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was like metal. Like you could buy this fucking, rat mirror, like a painted mirror.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Or you could get like a Zippo that had like Motley Crue's logo on it or Guns N' Roses. And I bought one time, but it's not like an actual Zippo. It's like a knockoff, right?
Yeah.
And that thing lasted like 2 seconds.
That sucks. I had a painted mirror. I don't remember what band it was, but I got it like at the state fair.
Yeah. So dumb. Poison or some shit
Probably.
Anyway, so he's got his fucking Motley Crue Zippo and he gives it to the hobo and he lights his cigarette and he's like, kid, forget about your parents. They love you. Go back home. Don't get on the road. Don't be like me or whatever he says. And this guy's like, oh, thanks, mister.
Okay, bye.
And he leaves. And then the fucking hobo gets killed by
he's like just sitting there, do. Someone comes and gets him.
some werewolf looking fucker.
Yeah.
Is it a werewolf or a cat? I don't know. He calls him a kitty at one point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's ugly, whatever it is.
And then it starts chasing this kid. And
is this where they're going through the cardboard graveyard?
Yes. Yeah. But
the shittiest tombstones I've ever seen.
I know. I don't know. But Billy stumbles upon this old mansion and he goes inside because he's like, I bet you it's warmer in there than it is out here. Golly. And this kid, by the way, this Billy kid, he looks like the kid from Poltergeist, like grown up a little bit.
Yeah, he does.
You know that ugly
the
fuck?
son? Yeah. Carol Ann!
I got eaten by a tree.
The tree tried to eat me.
The fucking clown raped me. He goes in there and there's all these decorations set up for a birthday.
Like birthday party decorations. Like,
he
oh,
goes,
they did remember.
What kind of logic? This kid's dumb.
He's dumb as shit. He'll run away and then he'll wander a bit. He'll probably meet a drifter. He'll find this house. He'll go in it. Surprise!
He thinks that's how.
Like a dumbass
nobody
kid.
loves this kid. This kid's so dumb that his parents are like, you know what? Fuck this kid.
Yeah, they don't love him because he's stupid.
So he's like, it must be my birthday party. And let's see. Hold on. I gotta.
Like,
Oh,
while
by
he's
the way,
doing
that werewolf has a hook for a hand.
Yes, it does, but it's just a hand holding a hook. So his arm is like cartoonishly long because he actually has a hand. It looks ridiculous. While Billy's in the house, like a little Jawa looking guy, like sneaks into the house too.
But that thing never comes back.
Nope.
It's like the fucker from Phantasm. Those little
Yeah, exactly.
to help out the tall man.
I didn't understand.
I didn't understand him in Phantasm either. But Billy opens up one of the presents, and it's just a severed head, and it starts laughing at him. He runs away, and then he gets attacked by.
He goes, "Happy birthday, Billy!"
Gets attacked by the werecat.
Yeah,
and the werecat then buries Billy alive. Billy puts up zero struggle, by the way.
Yeah, he just lays there and takes it.
So,
Yeah. Oh no, this dirt is so heavy. Ridiculous.
I was like, just roll over, dude.
Yeah, do anything. And then the more like dirt kept getting shoveled on him, I was like, okay, eventually this kid's gonna pop up and run away. And then it just kept going. I was like, that kid's dead.
Yep, they killed him.
Buried alive.
Cut to a group of kids. I guess they're kids. I don't understand the dynamics of this relationship.
Same. Who any of these people are? Because at first I thought like there's like an older couple, not older, like middle-aged or whatever.
They're old.
I thought they were the kid's parents, and they were driving like out looking for him.
Yeah, at first I thought that too, and then I thought they were just the parents of the teenagers.
Yeah, because then there's another car with like young adults,
and I thought they were just going to like a house party, or like a. I don't know.
Are they all friends?
Yes. Well, the old guy is dating a young girl.
Yeah, it was
so
weird.
she's like, I like old balls.
I like old man balls. The droopier, the better. So gross.
I don't like a nice firm scrot. I like a nice doughy scrotum.
I like that worn in look, you know?
I like gray pubes.
Fucking doughy.
A doughy scrote. It's just like bread dough. Just like
Yeah,
hanging
yeah.
there.
It just kind of hangs.
You know, like when you take bread dough and you just kind of hold it up and it's
Yeah,
too
and then
heavy.
it's kind
and
of
it
slowly
sags.
just starts to sag and droop.
Yeah. She's like, that's what I want in ball sack.
Yep. He's like, well, then I'm your man.
Listen, everybody's got their fetishes, right? Some guys like big boobs. Some chicks like nice firm buttocks. I like a doughy scrote.
Doughy scrote.
I want it to smell like dough also.
See, I want it to stink.
Well, I like mine. I like mine smelling like salt and vinegar chips.
Yeah, exactly. And taste like them, too. Oh, God.
Oh, if there's one thing that gets me wet, it's the smell of a salt and vinegar chip
shag.
doughy scrote.
Oh.
So there's like 8 kids. Well, they're not. I don't even want to call them kids. There's 8 people, and one doesn't fit in with the next one, and the next one doesn't fit in with the previous, and it like none of them. You have this big complaint on movies that we watch where there's always like 5 teenagers, and the 5th one is always like the biggest nerd.
Yeah, it's like, you guys wouldn't be friends.
No, none of these people, unless they work together, like they all work, like and they're on
Yeah.
a work retreat.
Yeah, because one guy's like a tough guy wearing like leather clothes or some sort of crazy getup.
He looks like he's wearing a sauna suit. You know those
Yeah.
rubber sauna suits?
Yeah, where it's like
to work
fake,
out?
like pleather almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Like
there's this
he's
other guy with a sock or a hand puppet.
What the fuck is up with this guy? He's like a comedian. He's wearing
He's
a
the worst.
t-shirt. He's wearing a t-shirt with his own
I
face on.
saw that with his face and his puppet on his shirt.
Probably the coolest part of the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And he got this puppet, and the puppet always talks. And even when they're partying, he's like feeding the puppet chips. I'd be like,
Ridiculous.
listen, Gary, I paid for those chips, okay? Don't feed
Yeah,
your
you're
fucking
being
puppet.
wasteful. There's people that are starving. Go dig that kid up in the backyard.
Well,
his
they
birthday.
come across this this mansion, the same dilapidated mansion, right? From the back of the box.
Yep. And they were compelled, as Billy was, to go in.
Yeah, why not party here? I know a great spot.
This house looks abandoned.
And they bring all their party supplies. I don't know what happened to the previous party. I don't know why they're not
Yeah.
where they were supposed to be.
I don't understand.
They go to this house, and Old Balls is like, I don't think we should be here. And they're like, listen, you're too old, and your balls sag like dough. You guys know what I'm talking about? And they're like,
It
yeah,
tastes
we
like
know.
salt and vinegar.
And they're like, the puppet's like, yeah, salt and vinegar.
Saggy doughy balls.
And so they go inside, and they bring all their party supplies. Like I said, they got chips, they got beer, they got everything a person could want.
Quite the party.
And they start.
They got music.
They got music.
Yeah. Start dancing. Little dance party.
This tough guy, supposed tough guy, he's a fucking douche.
What's his name?
And
Duke?
Yeah, Duke.
Duke
That's
the
right.
douche.
Duke, Duke the douche. There's a. Oh God, I can't even like describe what happens in this movie, David. Like I've seen the movie. All right, I remember.
It's incoherent.
It's like trying to explain to somebody the theory of relativity. Right? Like you know it. You're like, I kind of understand the concept, but I can't explain it because I didn't create it.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to understand and to explain. It's like trying to explain to somebody the rules of like a card game. It's like, but well, you can't lay down this because you're not following suit with this. And the Jack of Spades is the highest card, and then the Jack of Clubs, and then the Ace. And people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's explaining this movie, right? Spookies is one of the worst fucking films ever made.
It's awful.
And I don't care what our normal formula is. I'm going to give it my rating right now, David. This movie gets half a fucking head.
I got a half as well.
And the only reason is because some of the effects are really cheesy.
Same.
And I kind of liked them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There are a few effects I liked, but like the actual story, acting, everything
There's
else
no
is god
fucking
awful.
story. David,
It doesn't make any
don't
sense.
I don't understand the fucking story. Did you understand what the story
All
was?
I got was like they find a Ouija board type thing. It's not even a Ouija board. Well, it kind of
No.
is. And
They
then
call
one
it a
girl,
Ouija board.
The one girl like explains it in the way like Linnea Quigley would. Like it's like, this is a Ouija board. You put the thing down and it moves and tells us the answer. It was just like just awful. Yeah. So I take it they summon some sort of demon or all these monsters, but then you got the fucking weird Dracula guy in his little crypt or whatever. He's like also sending demons because he's collecting souls to like keep his Winona Ryder looking wife alive.
Like I thought it was her at first.
I did too when she was laying in the casket. I was like, is this
By the way, I got to stop
Dracula?
you. I got to stop you real quick because I want to give I do an impersonation around the house these days.
Ooh.
And it's my impersonation of Linnea Quigley as Pinocchio.
That sounds fun.
Okay, ready? I got to get into it. Hold on. Hi, diddly dee, an actor's life for me.
Very good. That's awesome.
Linnea Quigley. Thank you.
Well done.
One day I just started doing that, and I said to my wife, I go, this is Linnea Quigley if she was Pinocchio. Hi, diddly dee, an actor's life for me.
Did she like it?
She loved it.
Excellent.
I do it all the time now.
It's good. That's gold.
I do it when we have sex.
I do it right at that climax.
right as I ejaculate, I'm hi diddly dee. Actor's life for me. That gets her every time. Everybody's got fetishes, David. Hers just so happens to be Linnea Quigley as Pinocchio.
Something's growing.
I cannot tell a lie. So there's this dead bride. And this guy wants to bring her back, and so he's got to kill all these kids, and the kids come there. He like lured them there, and he's gonna kill them. I guess I can explain the story, but they don't explain that. Like you have to like, as an audience, like you have to fucking be Agatha Christie and like solve this.
You gotta be quite the
murder.
sleuth to put all these moving pieces together.
Yeah, and so like you're figuring it out, and they're dying, and then he's like just fucking with them. It's like you have them there, just kill them.
Yeah.
But no, he's got to set up elaborate traps. Like one of the guys, the sock puppet guy, gets caught in a fucking web.
He doesn't struggle at all either to try to get out of that web. He's just like,
he's just looking. He's like,
I'm stuck in a web. And then the spider lady,
she turns into a spider and kills him. I mean, the effect was kind of cool.
Yeah, like as she starts to kind of morph into the spider lady. Like at first she has like a head that looks like cauliflower, and then it goes to him, and then it goes back, and now she's like a spider lady. What about the fart monsters?
Yeah, the ones that you put water on them and they dissolve.
Yeah. They like pop out. They kill a couple people too, right? Or they attack them.
They attack Duke and his girlfriend because they're down in a dirty ass basement, and Duke wants to fuck her.
Oh, that's right.
And she's like, no. I'm not having sex with you here. He's like, come on, baby.
Oh, yeah, he puts the blanket over him. He's like, oh, I'm the horny ghost.
And then these fart muck monsters come out, and then he's like, dump water on them. That'll fix them.
Oh, shit, I was right.
And then Old Balls and his girlfriend are upstairs, and they meet up with Duke and his girlfriend. And Duke and Old Balls start fist fighting. It's like, guys,
and that fight is ridiculous.
Yeah. So they fight, and then like another monster comes out. I forget which one.
Is that the one that's like the Grim Reaper monster?
Yeah.
It's like a statue of the Grim Reaper, something that like turns into like a real Grim Reaper, and starts chasing them around. Duke gets the worst death. Like for like him being kind of like one of the main characters, like. He doesn't really even die on screen. Like he gets like thrown or something like that.
Yep. And they're like, well,
oh,
I guess he's.
And I thought like, and then he just never comes back in the movie. And I was like, oh, I guess he's dead.
Yep,
okay.
He was dead. Oh, and then there's the guy and the girl who are a couple, and he's very effeminate.
Oh yeah.
And she like bosses him around. And they fucking die. I forget how they die. They get a ghoulie chases them or some shit, right?
I can't remember.
It looked like a ghoulie.
It did. I even checking my notes. Creature from the Black Lagoon looking ghoulie. It was very ghoulie looking. Because that's the British chick, right?
Yeah, I guess. that was her actor's choice. She's like, I'm going to be British.
I'm going to do it with an accent. I'm like, no, that's not quite it.
That's more Crocodile Dundee than it is fucking Sir Laurence Olivier. So they die. By the way, all these people die.
Yeah.
There's no hero.
There's no one we're rooting for because they're all awful. No one's likable.
The hero ends up being this Winona Ryder looking, and I don't even want to insult Winona Ryder because she's actually
she only looked like her in that one scene.
Yes, because I think it was a different actress. To be honest with you,
yeah, because when we see her later in the movie, she's walking around. So I was like, that isn't. She looks different than I thought.
I didn't realize it was the same person, really.
Yeah,
but it's this Winona Ryder looking bride. She's
Isabel,
she's dead.
I think was her name.
Okay. She's dead, and he's been keeping her alive by this sorcerer is in love with her, but she doesn't love him. But he's going to keep her alive long enough to
move on, buddy.
Love him. And so, also this fucking guy has a vein that pulses in his forehead.
Oh yeah, it's gross.
Like every time he thinks of something, it's all blah 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 blah. But she rises and she's like, "I'm not gonna love you, dude. I haven't never loved you and I won't ever love you." And he's like, "Yes, you will." And then she's like, "All right, I'm in love with you." And he's like, "You are?" And then she hugs him and stabs him.
Yeah, I fooled you. I may have lied.
Yep. And then she goes running. All right.
Oh boy, does she run.
Dude, she runs. And she runs.
And runs.
And she runs. And then these creatures start thrillering up out of the... Remember I was talking about Thriller being the #1 video? Was that this episode? It was.
Yeah.
Thriller being the #1 video?
Darkness falls across the land.
Yeah.
So should have got Vincent Price to narrate this scene.
They start coming up, and they're not good zombies like the fucking Rick Baker zombies. They're
pretty shitty looking.
They're like Rick Candlestick Maker zombies because they have paint on this side of their hands, but then when they turn their hands over, it's just their skin color.
Mm-hmm.
They're really shitty makeup, but they're coming up out of and they're chasing her, and she's running, and they're chasing her, and then she runs this way, and she's just screaming the same scream every time she sees
and
them.
she runs in circles. She runs into a pack of them. She's like, ah, and then runs
they
towards
attack
another
her
pack
and
of them.
they pin her down, and you're like, okay, that's it, she's gonna die. And then she gets out and she runs,
and they just keep removing more of her clothing.
This lasts for 15 minutes.
It goes on and on and on.
It's a quarter of the movie. So now she's the hero. So at first we thought it was fucking the ugly kid from Poltergeist. Then he dies, and then we think it's Old Balls and his girlfriend. They die. Then we think it's
This
her.
movie's very clever. A lot of left turns.
Yeah. Then we think it's her, and she finally gets into a car, and she's like, "Oh, I don't have the keys." And then some dude is just there. It's like his fucking Woody wagon, and she gets into it, and some guy's like, "Hey, what are you doing in my car, lady?" And she's like, we gotta go." And he's like, "Oh, zombies!
Oh, zombies! Oh!
He's like, "Move out of the way." So he gets in the car and he starts driving, and she's like, "Whew, we made it." And he turns and he's like, "I've always loved you," or something. "I've loved you too," or some shit. And it's like, what? And he turns, and then it's the werecat.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
And he laughs, and it's the credits.
Well, and then the guy, the
sorcerer,
the sorcerer guy, pops up out of his pulsating grave or whatever, and maniacally laughs, and that's the end.
What the fuck, David? I woke
dude,
up.
This was painful.
I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning one morning. Couldn't get back to sleep.
It's the worst.
And it's been happening. I've been waking up at 3 o'clock, right around 3-ish, maybe a little bit after every night.
So you put this on and it didn't put you back to sleep?
David, it did not put me back to sleep. I thought it would.
You were captivated.
I was like, I have to watch this for the podcast, so I might as well watch it now. And I started watching it, and then I had a cup of coffee because I was like, I'm already fucking up. And so I watched this the other morning. I regret it. I mean, I don't because I had to watch it for the podcast, but this is god awful. I don't, like I said, I gave it a half a head, reluctantly gave it half a head.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only reason I did because some of the special effects, but everything else about this movie is like negative.
Yeah, some of the
heads.
creatures and stuff were cool. Like there was some cool visuals, but there's no story.
There's no redeeming quality outside of that.
Yeah.
Everything else about it is worse than the worst movie, Nightmare Weekend.
It's bad. And I'm glad we saw it because like it's been on our list since like the beginning. Like we've had this on our list for years as a potential movie to do. So now I'm glad that it's off the list. And I'll never have to watch it again.
There's probably people out there that like this movie.
Oh, I know. I'm positive.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was like when I forgot to mention this, when the opening credits appear and Spookies, it's like Goonies.
Oh, was it like Goonies font?
Yeah, Goonies font because it had the little skull for dotting the I.
Ah.
So all they did was take out the K and the S and just or add the G and the N and replace it with an S and a K. And a P, I guess, too, right? I don't know. There's people out there that probably really like this movie, and they're like, "You guys just don't get it. You guys, I know, I get it. I get it. You have
You
bad
guys are
taste in movies."
snobs.
Yeah, snobs. I'm a fucking snob. No, I just know
I like
what
plenty
a
of
bad
trashy
movie.
movies. This is not one of them.
There's nothing good about it.
There's no entertainment value other
I
than
don't even
like
think-
making fun of it.
Yeah, I don't even think I could sit in a room with you and make fun of it for longer than about 15 minutes, and then it's like, okay, then
Yeah, because
I'd
on
be
top
bored.
of like that, it's boring.
Yeah, like the parts that you can make fun of like happen far apart from each other.
Right.
It's not until you watch the whole thing that you can go back and make fun of it.
Yeah. But when it's over, you just
Want to die.
yeah, you just bury your face in your hands and weep.
I just want to go into a shallow grave and have someone pour dirt on me.
Yeah.
Slowly.
I'll just lay there and take it. Like I'm done. Just bury me right here. I won't even
Not
struggle.
to mention, why does the back of the box have that Angus Black?
Yeah. Who's that?
I don't know. This
It don't
movie
make no sense.
sucks.
No! Fuck positivity. I'm so angry.
Fuck my fucking New Year's resolution.
Yeah, no, I'm back. I'm back to my old cranky
Back
self.
with a vengeance. It took me all of 2 weeks. If you like Spookies, you're insane, but you should reach out to us and tell us why you're so insane. You can
and then seek help.
Seek mental help. You can watch Spookies, by the way, on Shudder.
Or you
at
could
least
not.
we did.
Or you could watch anything else.
Or you could watch. Yeah, you could watch. You
watch
could take a
Paint Dry.
shit. You could take a shit, turn around before you flush, and watch it go down the drain, and you'd probably have more of a story.
Yeah. You could
But
watch
David,
a
if-
doughy nutsack.
If they want to contact us, if anybody wants to contact us for any reason,
Yeah,
How
if you feel
can they
so
do that?
inclined, you can reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, the Slasher app, TikTok, Hive, YouTube. Search the Swearwolves on all of those platforms. On Instagram, the Swearwolves Podcast is the way to find us. You can go to our website, theswearwolves.com. You can email us at contact@theswearwolves.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 623-282-1851.
So for the Swearwolves this week, I'm Bret,
I'm David.
and I'm going to go eat some salt and vinegar chips.
I'm going to picture your balls.